Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us here at Transwest Truck Trailer RV of Frederick, Colorado. My name is Michaela. This morning I'm taking you through one of my customers' trade-ins. It's a very lightly used 2025 Cimarron 6-horse. They custom built it originally, so it's got a lot of really unique options that you're not going to see on some of our inventory trailers. These customers do build and rebuild trailers once or twice a year. They know what they're doing. They've got a lot of good options on this one. Again, lightly used, just traded it back in on something that was a little bit bigger. So this one has been fully serviced through our shop. Being a non-LQ, it's only going through our chassis side. So they're going to do an alignment on these axles, and then they're going to run through hitch to bumper and kind of QC, service, recondition, anything else that needs addressed on this trailer. And as I take you guys through my video, I'm going to point out whatever I notice on this trailer. First and foremost, you guys are going to see it. It's going to have tree branch scratches down this side. These customers have a tree-lined driveway. They need to get their trees trimmed, but until that happens, we're just going to have some tree branch scratches down this side. You guys will see it as we go. Can only really catch it in some lighting, but it's coming with the scratches on this guy. So front tack. Big important setup for these customers is they love a front tack with a dual entrance. One side, passenger side, has to have a ramp on it. They love the ramp. They think it's so much more convenient, easy to use, just run in and out, grab all your tack, grab all your gear in here, versus having a door and a swing out saddle rack. They just love this for the space and the convenience aspect. So you're gonna have a ramp entrance to this side. And then on the floor in here, it's going to be Werm flooring. So same as your stall area, it's that same pour in, permanent, non-porous rubber flooring. So just eliminates any seams. There's no rubber mat seams. They really like this flooring in all of their front tacks. They've done it on every single trailer. It's easy to keep clean. It's easy to protect your floor because you're not going to get anything down in between. So they really love having that across their floor in all their trailers. And then coming up to our drop wall, we're going to have a 12-inch boot box, full width, does have two separate lids, but opens to the same space. So really good boot box storage in here. I know typically when they come swap trailers, we do help them move all their stuff, and I noticed in here was a lot of like bell boots, splint boots, fly boots, extra therapy gear. This was a great spot to kind of store all that, tuck it out of the way, keep it clean, and prevent it from rolling across the floor. Also works as a bench. These customers have some kids that come with them, so nice hangout spot in here. And then fully carpeted drop wall deck. All walls in here lined, insulated, and carpeted as well. We do have one of those Optobrights up in the nose up there, so it's going to really provide a lot of light in here. Again, if your kids are using it for hangout space, you're hanging out at a horse show, a jackpot, any sort of event, nice space. If you want to throw a bed up in here, a bedroll, any kind of just overnight stay, this is a good spot because you are lined, insulated, and carpeted, but also works as just storage. I know I've got my nose full of stuff up here. I've also spent a night up in there. It works great. You're gonna have those sliding bus windows on both sides, so you're gonna get some good ventilation if you do use it for that purpose. And then up here on the right hand side, we do have a clothes bar right there. So hanging all of your extra change of clothes up there, you have that. You're also gonna have to be pre-framed for AC. So this one doesn't have AC. If you were gonna use it multi-purpose, you wanna add one, we're already pre-framed right there. Over here is where I hit that light switch to control the lighting inside of this front tack. This side's going to be that swing out man door, your 42-inch, which we'll get to check out more as we go around, but this is going to be your secondary entrance. If you are tying up on this side of your trailer, you can still get in here and access all of your equipment. Lots of bridle hooks, high and low. Over here, again, fully carpet, line and insulate all the walls, so you're going to have carpet here too. I love that because it gives it a really nice clean finished look. Also really protects your equipment, so whatever you store on the floor, and I can see just a little bit of mark right here from whatever was stored on the floor, it's protecting your equipment and protecting your trailer now with that versus just your line and insulate white sheets. High and low bridle hooks right here, and before I take you around, I've got another Optobright up here as well as over my ramp entrance. So we've got a ton of light in this front tack. I'm gonna sneak over here and trade you guys sides because right here we have two removable saddle posts. So these are going to be same as what you see in our swing out posts or our recessed posts. You can still slide these guys up and down anywhere on this track. If you wanted to add more, could probably fit a 5th one on each one of these. But right now you've got 4 that are fully adjustable, but both of these posts right here are removable. So you can actually unpin these and take all of these out. So I've had some customers talk about that's nice because even though you probably do need to pull your saddles off and throw them in a wheelbarrow to get inside, you can then take this post out, take it in your tack stall at a horse show, tie it up there and use it within there as well. So kind of cool dual purpose there if you guys like that, or if you just need to remove them and store some show boxes, some vacuums, anything like that under a partition wall, you guys can pop these out. And then sneaking back over here in this corner, we've got another high and low set of bridle hooks. So lots of good hanging space over here. So really well set up front tack. They love that the recessed or the removable posts on that partition wall like that, and the ramp getting up in there, grab their saddles, come back over here where they're tied off and saddle their horses right here. You can never have too many lights. These customers love lights. So we've got lights, tons of marker lights on our top rail, but then we've got a lot of these LED awning lights over this side as well. Just good visibility if you are working off of this trailer early in the morning or late at night. And then these customers do come from down south. They love drop windows on tail side as well, because you can really just fully open up the entire side of this trailer. I just got 1 or 2 down right now, but you guys can see these jail bars here are built into the window. So when you fully drop this, you're gonna have big wide open airflow right here. And these guys, you can kind of manipulate these if you only want a couple down here and there. You guys can do whatever you want. They also have a sliding bus window built in though. So if you maybe are from up north, you don't need this much ventilation, you still have those built-in sliding bus windows, and you guys can keep all of these up. We do have tie rings down both sides, so being that your tack room is accessible from both sides, works really great to tie up wherever you need to, whatever works best, wherever you're parked. And then being that we're 8 feet wide, pretty long on this trailer, we've got those amber turn signals, just like to indicate other drivers on the road when we are changing lanes. They also turn on when you do step on the brakes as well. And then back here, we've got air ride axles under this one. So we have those Dexter Airflex with big Continentals and Alcoas. Just a really good setup underneath this trailer. I don't have my air ride turned on right now, but I'm going to show you guys up front how that works, because you can turn it on without being plugged into any tow vehicle. And if something were to fail with this air ride, like right now, if you just don't even turn it on, you can still get to where you're going. It does set back down on these rubber torsion axles, but they're auto leveling, has its own onboard compressor, very easy to use. And then your horses are gonna just ride down the road really nice. I've heard many, many great things. I've never heard a bad thing about this air ride. I've always heard that when you do get to your show, your rodeo, your jackpot, your horses step off, they're eating, they're drinking, they're not drawn up, they're not stoved up in their legs, and they're ready to go to work for you. Again, these customers build probably 2 trailers a year. Everything they build is on air ride. Stepping back, get a good look at this side. We do have those scratches carried across some of these aluminum pieces here that you guys can see. Not trying to hide anything. We like to point out a lot of our customers do buy sight unseen off of these videos. So if you're watching this and you want to just purchase it and have it delivered to your door, I like to point out everything that I see. We do have an integrated hay pod in this one, so built into our roof line. Back here is going to be access up into that hay pod. So back here we have an easy angle ladder. You guys can see it comes out and makes an angle right here, because it's so much easier to climb in and out when you're not climbing straight up a ladder. You're able to get that angle, get up in there, and then we do have a gate across the back, which can be opened up. So if you are running a tractor bucket and you want to come set your tractor bucket flush here to throw your hay in and out, that gate does swing open. Also does have the gate though at the back, so if you do use that extra deck back there behind your pod for storage, want to strap down your wheelbarrows, some extra hay, shavings, grain back there, you do have the gate as just secondary, keeping it confined up there. Integrated hay pod does have a flat back water tank up in there that is plumbed down into our broom closet. Also just really good storage up there, fully enclosed and watertight. And then we've got 2 pedestal lights back here, so shining light off to the back of your trailer. So if you are loading it up early in the morning to get to where you're going, you have the visibility throughout. These easy angle ladders are really cool, that when you're done with them, they slide right back up in there. They set on those feet, and then they do latch in, and they can be locked. So this is gonna be the same key as all your other doors and windows on this trailer. You guys can lock that in, and as you guys can see, you can still have an easy angle ladder with a rear ramp. They're not gonna interfere, you guys can have both. So this one's gonna have your rear ramp entrance into this stall area. These customers do haul a lot of mares and foals as well, so having the ramp is big for them. They have on all of their trailers. And then on the floor, we have the same black Werm flooring. So it's gonna be, again, that permanent rubber flooring. It's non-porous, so nothing is draining through this floor. Werm is W-E-R-M, stands for we eliminate rubber mats, because this worm is taking place. So what you're gonna do is pull out your rubber mats and pour this in on top instead. Prevents any urine from getting to your aluminum floors underneath. These Cimarrons are all aluminum, and their aluminum floor underneath is a plank material that interlocks like tongue and groove, so it's full, solid, one piece. We don't want any urine getting down in there and eating away at that aluminum, so this is gonna protect that. Also makes your life a whole lot easier when you do wanna just power wash out this entire stall area. You're just gonna nose it up, power wash it out, and all the water's gonna run right out the back. But we're gonna go ahead and run all the way up front here and start the front and work our way back. I find that's the easiest. So all of your walls in here are gonna be lined and insulated, and then you're gonna have your kick mat all the way around. Up front, we're only gonna get 2 roof vents because we have our integrated hay pod, which is built into that roof line from here back. So you have these 2 right here that you can kind of manipulate for airflow right there. We are 7'10" tall, but with your integrated hay pod, you guys can see your roof comes down a little bit. It does eat into your roof line about 7 inches. So we are 7'3" in this stall area. Front stall does have a manger on it. Even though it still has your escape door, you guys can still get in and out this door. We do have the built-in manger on this door. Still gonna get 2 tie rings per stall. And then we're gonna have a stud divider on our front one here. So even though you do have a manger, you still have the escape door. You guys can use that for storage and have your full stud wall here, padded dividers. We're also gonna have stud dividers on 2 and 3. So these customers, they do haul a lot of, as I said, mares and foals. So they like to be able to separate them that way. They do also have a few studs. So they like to have the stud wall for that. It's easier and more versatile when you have this many. So they've optioned theirs with 3 stud walls. Your last 2 are gonna be partials. They're all padded. They're all airflow dividers with airflow head grills between your mangers as well. Again, they do live down south, so it's really important for them to just have a lot of air moving through this trailer. And then back here, like I said, our last 2 are partials. Every single divider has a carabiner and a D-ring. So if you want to, or if you need to, you just need to clip 1 or 2 open. You need to clip all of them open. We are on a little bit of a slant right here, and as you guys can see, our dividers are spring-loaded. They still held themselves open pretty well. But if you were on more of a slope and they wanted to close on you as you were loading, you have this for that purpose as well. But this is gonna be on every single divider. Over on tail side, we're gonna have an Optobright over every single stall. So tons of visibility inside of this stall area. We're also gonna have stall fans over every single stall. Again, these customers are big on lighting and ventilation. They want their horses comfortable back here and they want to be able to see what they're doing. So we got all those stall fans, and they are controlled by some light switch controls at the back. So I'm just gonna grab this door real quick and show you on this side. I've got 2 light switches right here. My one that's on right now is controlling my lights over on my right-hand side, all 3 of those awning lights. This one right here, if you flip that on, that one's controlling all those stall fans in there. So right now I've got all my stall fans going. Super easy that you guys can just flip those on whenever you need to. flip them right back off whenever you need to. Like if you get stuck in traffic maybe, and you just want to run back there and get some air moving because you're not moving to get them that ventilation, run back here and just flip those on. You don't have to go to each fan and turn them on individually. We'll go ahead and step around to head side, and I'm going to show you guys that broom closet right here with that plumbed in water line. So up at the front of our hay pod, we've got a lay down water tank plumbed into this piping right here, and our spigot right here. It does backfill from here as well, so when you do go fill it, you can pump up the water right through here. But then nice to have water on board but not lose any space in here, because when you do go to a lot of these bigger events, you end up parked way at the far back of the parking lot, and you don't want to be carrying, shuttling buckets all the way to when you're hauling 6 head especially. You're gonna have to do a lot of runs with water buckets. So now you're gonna have water on board of this trailer. You do have your 10-foot hose right here. We've got gray rubber behind and a set of bridle hooks right here. So when you are using this space for storage, you can protect your walls that way. Hang some brooms in here, some pitchforks, maybe your water buckets right here, more hoses, whatever you guys need back here. Just kind of a nice like dirty tack space right there. Do have an OptiBrite over this door, or an LED, so you guys have some visibility right here if you're filling and unfilling or filling that water tank up there. And then one thing that we don't do on this is we don't do a fold down step on this broom closet. We do fold down steps on everything else because you are climbing in and out and you want the accessibility, but right here we did not opt for that fold down step because most of the time you're just going to want to walk up and be able to get to your stuff. You don't have to worry about folding down a step and then having your step stick out to here, not being able to reach everything. So just for accessibility and convenience, we do leave the fold down step off of this space. You guys can always add it if you want to build a trailer, but I like to point out why they do things and why they've changed things on their build, and that was for that purpose. We do have a combo lock on this door, so you guys can really secure this as well. And then our drops on head side, these ones are going to have the built-in jail bars being on head side. We don't want to fully open these drop windows and have your horses getting their heads out as you're driving down the road. But if you need to get in there and get to them, you're just going to manipulate this drop window, get those jail bars to pop out there, and now you can still get in there, access your horses if you need to untie them, if you need to set a water bucket in there, if you need to feed them or just check on them. You have the accessibility, but then easily put those guys back up. And these, same as your tail side, these windows are going to pop into place so you can travel down the road with these ones down. And as we saw inside, all of these stalls had mangers, so we're going to have manger doors under every single one. And then behind it on that wall there, we're going to have that gray rubber. That's lining the whole back wall of this entire space. And every other door is going to have a set of those bridle hooks mounted on the wall as well. Over your last stalls here, you're going to have the smaller doors because your wheel wells, you guys can see up over our wheels here, we're going to have 3 small doors. And then as we work our way forward, we're going to get into these bigger oversized doors. You guys are going to have 2 of these up here. So lots of good extra storage under here. And again, I love that we have the bridle hooks every other. So if you do want to hang up extra halters or lead ropes, you have storage in there. And then the gray rubber just keeps it clean and nice looking, protects your trailer, helps maintain that resale value. We did have a manger on our escape door as well. Also gets its own storage compartment. But we still have this door that opens as well. So if you guys were using the full stud wall for storage, and then we do have the fold down step on this one. So when you are climbing up in there, you have the accessibility, more convenient that way. And then your full stud wall. So if you are stacking stuff up in there, nothing's going to slide under and get to the rest of your horses. If you are hauling a horse in there though, you still have that manger. You don't have to set in that corner feeder. It's a very versatile setup. And then back to our front tack room. This is that 42-inch swing that I mentioned. So into your tack space, this is going to be where all of your blanket bars are located. We got the 6-pole swing out right here. And they are spaced far enough apart. You guys want to stack some pads on there. I stack pads on mine, liners, multiple pads. I just throw all of them on there. You have lots of room to do that with that swing out. It's on a gas shock, It's gonna hold itself out, but then it's also gonna hold itself back in. Behind our blanket bars, we do have a door, or a sliding bus window right here on our door. I like having that ventilation right there behind your saddle pads. So if you do end up on a long ride or a long horse show day, rodeo day, your pads get a little bit wet, throw them on there, go to drive home. Just crack this window open a little bit. It's gonna keep that air moving across your pads and help dry them out. Fully carpeted your door as well. And then down below, we do have our brush tray. I do love the brush trays. I've got one on my Cimarron at home. It's full of stuff. I love that they've got different compartments and the drain holes in the bottom for easy cleaning. Something that this customer opted to do on their new one was relocate blanket bars in there and actually add more brush trays. So that's always something you guys can do if you're looking at building. There's lots of different options, but this is what they've opted for on this setup here. And then over our door, we've got another 16-inch LED, so visibility on this side as well. I didn't notice as many scratches on this side. There's still gonna be a few here and there, but not quite what we see on the other side. And then finishing up front here, we've got an aluminum locking battery box right here. It's gonna have 2 batteries in there. It's gonna have our solar panel reading meter right here. It just shows you guys we have a solar panel up on top of the roof over our front tack. It's gonna help trickle charge and keep these batteries maintained. So that's showing you voltage right there. Over here we have our battery disconnect switch. So you can flip it off when you want to shut off power to these batteries. Like right now, who knows which lights I've left on and which I haven't, because there are so many lights on this trailer. If you don't want to kill your batteries, just flip that off when you park. But if you do, like right now, wanted to use your lights and such without being plugged into a tow vehicle, just flip that on. You can use all of your lights. Over here we have a RedArc charger. So typically when you're plugged in with your 7-pin, it's going to trickle charge your batteries. This RedArc just acts as a supercharger and really pushes a lot of power to these batteries to keep them maintained and topped off. So the RedArc combined with your solar is really hopefully going to prevent these batteries from ever dying on you. Over here we've got an Equalizer jack. The Equalizers are my favorite electric jack because they do have a manual override. So your handle stores over there. And if you ever need to crank it up and down, you have that option right here. So for some reason that you did accidentally kill those batteries, you have the option to go in and out and crank this jack up and down. Most electric jacks that I've seen that come in on trade-ins and other used trailers, they don't have the manual override. So always nice in a pinch that you do have that fail-safe right there. Your extra full-size matching spare tire over here. And then we do have hydraulic fluid up here for those electric over hydraulic brakes. And then hiding back over here in this space, this is gonna be that Dexter air ride box right here. So all you're gonna worry about, if you guys can see, and we do have other videos of a close-up of this box that do tell you how to use these, but we do have an off and an on and a raise and a lower. It's really all you need to worry about. What I recommend is when you first come out to your trailer here, just turn it on. What this is it's like an air compressor. If you guys were filling your tires at home, in your shop, on the road, at a gas station, this is just a compressor. So when you flip on, you're building air within this compressor here. You are not putting air to your axles. And I say that because when you do put the air to your axles, it's gonna raise your trailer about 4 inches. It's gonna make those ramps get a lot steeper. So I always recommend turn it on, go get hooked up, load your horses, load your tack, load your equipment, everything, get ready to go. And before you pull out, you're gonna flip this from lower to raise. Then that's gonna push the air to your bags and put your horses on clouds riding down the road. This is essentially what that is. And then turning back to lower will slowly push the air out of your line. So if you do park for a rodeo, jackpot, a full day, I recommend turning it off and lower. When you're gonna park overnight for long periods of time, and our shop will need to install the cord that attaches right here to your drain valve. So have them throw one of those back on. But your drain valve's right here. You're just gonna pull the cord, and that's gonna push all of the air out of your lines. You're gonna do that if you're stopped overnight for long periods of time because we don't want condensation to build in our lines. So you just want to make sure you do that. But if you're just stopped for an hour or two, you can leave your air ride on, or you can just turn it off and lower and not fully drain it. But we do have some really great like short clips on how to use your air ride. If you guys do get home, you don't want to reference this video, you guys can always scroll to the end of this video and watch that segment. But we do have short clips for you guys as well in our video library to take you through a lot of those systems. This trailer is currently still available. I believe it's done through the shop with the exception of that drain valve cord. They do need to replace that for us. But other than that, this trailer is ready to go. If you guys have any questions, we have a photo gallery online. You guys can type in 5U 250 791 in that stock ID search. It's a 2025 Cimarron Norstar 6-horse. I would love to help you guys out, get you in this trailer. If you have any questions, need any measurements, need any pictures, give me a shout or shoot me a text at 303-918-6367. You guys can also reach out via email at michaela.hall@transwest.com. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.